Okay, so listen to this. We are diving into a story about New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and it's like ripped straight from a political thriller. We're talking about campaign finance, a Turkish businessman, and a federal investigation. And this is just the beginning.
Wow.
Are you ready for this? We're going to unpack this CNBC article about Mayor Adams, and it's about these allegations of shady campaign contributions.
Oh, yeah. This has all the makings of a deep dive.
Okay.
We got international intrigue, potential corruption, even a little social media drama.
Right. Campaign finance is juicier than I thought. Okay, so here's the gist. It's 2021. Eric Adams has just won the mayoral election, and he's hit with a federal investigation into his campaign's finances.
Oh, wow.
Specifically, they're looking into whether he accepted illegal contributions from outside the U.S.
Interesting.
And this is where our Turkish businessman enters the picture. This is Enver Yucel.
Right.
Yucel has some serious ties to universities, including one here in D.C. And get this, it seems like him and Adams go way back, at least to 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So let's rewind to 2015. Adams goes on this trip to Turkey, and Yucel's university ends up paying for part of it.
Interesting.
Fast forward to 2018, Adams is gearing up for his mayoral run, and Yucel allegedly offers to lend a hand. Or should I say, his wallet.
Yeah, that's right. The indictment says that they met in New York City, and Yucel offered to funnel campaign money to Adams. And here's the kicker. Adams supposedly knew it was against the law to take money from a foreign national, but he agreed anyway.
It's like he wasn't even trying to hide it.
Well,
and that's where these campaign finance laws come in. I was reading the article, and it really emphasized this whole straw donor thing. What is that all about?
yeah, so straw donor schemes, it's like a way to make illegal contributions look all legal and above board. Basically, instead of Yucel donating directly to Adams, which would be a huge red flag, they allegedly funneled the money through American employees at Yucel's university.
So they use these employees as a cover.
Exactly.
And the article even gives a specific example of this scheme. Apparently, 5 employees of Yucel's D.C.-based university, Bay Atlantic University, each donated $10,000 to Adams's campaign.
On the same day.
Yeah, all on September 27, 2021. A total of $50,000.
And that's where it gets really interesting. That exact amount on that exact date is what prosecutors are calling the straw contribution from Yucel, just disguised as donations from those employees.
Wow. It's like something straight out of a movie.
It does make you wonder. And hold on, it gets better. So then Adams allegedly tries to cover his tracks even more. He submits a disclosure statement, and it falsely claims that those employees were the real source of the donations.
Wow, so if these allegations are true, we're not just talking about a slap on the wrist here, are we? What are we talking about? What kind of trouble could they be facing?
We could be talking serious legal trouble like fines, jail time, the whole 9 yards. It all hinges on what the prosecutors can actually prove. Can they prove that Adams knew about this and willingly took those illegal contributions? That's the big question. And, this is about way more than just one election. This brings up some big questions like how transparent are our elections, really? And what about foreign influence?
It's a little unnerving when you put it like that. And it makes you think about Yucel and his connections in Turkey. He's a pretty big name in education over there, right? This has got to be putting a strain on U.S.-Turkey relations.
Yeah, you're hitting on something important. Yucel is a prominent figure in Turkish academia, no doubt. This whole situation could create some tension between the U.S. and Turkey, especially if it ends with a conviction.
Okay, so we've got potential campaign violations, we've got international implications. This is a lot. And speaking of a lot, can we talk about that photo for a second?
The one Yucel posted on Instagram with the book.
Yes, Adams wins the election, and there's Yucel grinning ear to ear with the new mayor, and they're holding a copy of How Not to Die. You can't make this stuff up.
It is quite a choice. But beyond the book title, which is a whole other conversation, the photo really highlights that Adams and Yucel have a history. This wasn't just a one-time thing. They were connected.
And that's what I find so interesting. This one detail, this 2015 trip to Turkey, suddenly becomes really important.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder, what did they talk about back then? Was there any mention of supporting Adams's political future? It's something investigators will probably be looking into.
I know I would be. It also makes you think, if we didn't know about this 2015 trip, would we even be looking at this case the same way?
It's definitely possible that the investigation would look different, or maybe it wouldn't have happened at all. Who knows?
So what do we have? Backroom deals, possible cover-ups, a cast of characters that seems made up. This is like a political thriller.
And we're not even done yet. The investigation is still going, and there are so many unanswered questions. What else will they find? who else might be involved?
Exactly. What about the employees? The ones who were allegedly the fake donors? Why did they agree to that? Were they pressured? Did they think they were doing something good? Were they even aware of what was really happening? So many questions.
That's the million-dollar question. And you know the investigators are asking it.
Yeah.
And, looking beyond these individuals, this case could have much bigger consequences for campaign finance reform.
It makes you wonder, does this point to problems with campaign finance laws in general?
Yeah, it really makes you question if the current laws are even enough to stop this kind of thing from happening.
Right.
Some people are saying that this whole situation shows we need stricter rules about foreign money in U.S. elections.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then there are others who think current laws are fine as they are. We just need to enforce them better.
I see what they're saying.
It's a tough issue.
It is. It's complicated, but it's a conversation we need to have. We're talking about our elections here and the influence of money.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we can't just sit back. We have to be aware, ask questions, and hold our elected officials accountable. We can't let things like this happen in the shadows.
Right. So what does all this mean for our listeners?
Good question.
Well, first off, you're ahead of the curve now. You've got the information, the context, you've got the insights to really understand this story as it develops.
I like it.
So keep an eye out for new information, like who else might get pulled into this, what new evidence might come up, and then how is this whole thing going to affect our political landscape?
Yeah, we're only just starting to see the impact of all this. It really shows you things aren't always what they seem. And sometimes these events that seem totally unrelated can have huge consequences.
This whole thing is a wild ride. It just goes to show you, even in a place like New York City, with all its craziness, sometimes real life is stranger and way more interesting than any fiction.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Keep asking those questions, deep divers. Until next time.